Okay, now we'll transition.
So what is Gina saying about all this?
That's what she says.
Well, that means it's time to talk about foreclosures. And we are going to transition directly from Alissa's category into Big Bank Frank's
And we've
category.
gone about 2.5 minutes into my category.
No, we haven't. You've got plenty of time, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
What happens if the appraisal comes in under my offer price?
Okay, well, it's pretty standard.
Wait a minute. Let me help you.
Oh my God, 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 oh my God.
That's what happens.
That's the first thing.
There you go. It's pretty standard when you're purchasing the REOs or the short sales, for sure.
What is an REO, Frank?
I'm sorry,
Frank.
foreclosure property.
Thank you.
Real estate owned property.
Right.
It's pretty common for the seller to ask the buyer. Well, let's lay the groundwork here for the consumer listener that doesn't understand from the get go. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
If you, as a buyer, love a property, and the property is listed for, let's say, $250.
I like it.
You love this property. You've written 20 offers. You haven't gotten any acceptances.
Damn it.
You're just frustrated beyond belief. You're qualified up to $275. Let's say that. You love this home at $250. You say, forget it. I'm going to go above that list price. Let's offer $265. Now you get accepted. Okay.
Yay!
But your agent himself tells you, you know what? This is a $250 neighborhood, and we're going about $15,000 over. That agent should advise you, and most of the time they're not going to, until you get the counter from the seller, is that there's a possibility that this property is not going to appraise Mr. or Mrs. Buyer.
Oh my God, 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 oh my God.
Exactly. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer says, I don't care. I'm frustrated. I love this house. I want this house. That's what I'm offering. I want to get this house and push away my competition.
Should they pull a Trump on the agent and just go, you're fired?
No. That's an agent that just advised them, and the buyer still wants to move forward. You know, everybody's done their job. Okay,
You're fired.
You're fired.
You just want to
So,
do it.
offer goes
that.
in. Seller comes back, accepts that offer. Okay,
Yay!
$265. But more than likely, if it's an REO or a short sale, there's going to be a conditional counter term, likely that will say, buyer to pay the difference of appraisal if the appraised value does not come into the purchase price offered. So basically, you offered $265.
So they take the button away from me.
Is that fairly new?
No, it's
Because
not.
No, we've had that sound effect for quite some time.
Well, because I don't remember that being part of the addendum early on.
All right, I totally checked that. What happened?
It's
The
it's
verbiage
not,
that
but it's
says
a
buyer will pay the difference.
it's a counter that will come up prior to mutual agreement. So it's it's nothing
that a
that's going to
CYA?
sneak up on you after the acceptance all of a sudden. You know, it's something you're
right.
going to have to agree to, and it's based on the activity on that property. If the seller is getting multiple offers, but everything's under list price, or right at list price, likely they're not going to counter anybody that. But when somebody they see go for the throat like that, they have to consider that, well, if I'm going to accept this buyer, are we going to start and finish, or are we going to have a big bump in the road when the appraisal comes through or it doesn't come through?
Right, we're accepting it because that's what you're going to pay. That's not just what you're going to say.
Yeah. That's
Is
what
there
you're
a
gonna
chance
pay.
that they'll accept it to get the process going, but at some point in time they'll actually lower the price down to get the appraisal to work?
It's rare.
That's just
It can
delaying the
happen,
process.
It
but
might
it's
be rare now. It didn't used to be. A couple of years ago, well, I guess that was probably mostly because of appraisal problems, but the banks used to come down all the time.
well, depending on the number of offers that are coming in
Nowadays,
and that's the way everybody, even
Everybody's more savvy
buyers
now.
play the same thing. If there are too many homes and not enough buyers, the buyers know they're not going in at list price. They're coming way under because they're going to, inch their way into getting that acceptance, and they have the advantage. Right now, not enough homes, too many buyers, sellers have advantage, But real quick, so you offer $265.
Yep.
Okay. The seller's basically telling you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, if the appraisal comes in at $250, right where I've calculated it to be of value, I'm asking you, if we're going to move forward, you are to pay that $15,000 difference out of your own pocket to make up the difference of the value, and then we can continue to move forward.
Are they going to ask for proof of source of funds?
Well, some agents don't. I'm pretty pretty meticulous about looking at their approvals when they come in.
No.
Would never have guessed.
Anal.
And actually, when I see proof of funds, I want to see not just the funds to buy the home. I want to see the reserves also for their closing and some cushion money on top of it. And if I don't see that, I go back and I'll tell the asset manager, they're saying they'll do this, but I don't see them with the assets to do it if it came to that point.
Did anybody else have a Russell Crowe flashback when he said proof of funds?
No.
Because I did.
What
Proof
movie?
of Life with Russell Crowe and Meg Ryan.
You lost me at Russell
That's
Crowe.
another show.
Yeah, how can I
Another
lose
show,
you at
right?
Russell Crowe? You don't know who Russell Crowe is?
No, I know who Russell Crowe is. That's
Yeah,
why
but
you
like
lost me at Russell
Gladiator,
Crowe.
not Proof of Life.
Proof of Life was a
Yeah,
great
I like
movie.
Gladiator.
Did I not
Great, but
entertain
it had
you with my
Joaquin
appraisal
Phoenix in it.
segment?
Not really, but I was trying to break it up a little for the people at home.
So to the buyers out there, don't have it, be a shock to you if you get that, that condition there. If you can't do it, you simply can't do it, and you go back and you just tell them you can't, because if you can't and you're moving forward, you're making things tough, of course, on yourself and on your seller, and there's no negotiation later likely.
How often does this happen,
It's
Frank?
kind of sad that we have to have this conversation, but this is almost like be smart and strategic, but don't try to play games.
Yeah.
Right? Don't make offers that you're not going to really go
Exactly.
in at. But it's a
Don't make an
really,
offer
really
that
smart,
can't be refused.
strategic approach
Yeah.
to go in there. You have the reserves. You want the home. Ask for more, knowing that you're going to come in with some money out of pocket. But if you're just throwing the dice and gambling, that's going to get your offer accepted, even though you know you don't have the money to pay what you're asking.
Gambling problem?
You
Call
can't-
1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't do it.
And if everybody works together, which literally
Too
never
much coffee
happens,
today.
the listing agent has a part to play also. Listing agents out there for REOs or any property, look at the approval letter for one thing. If this house is 250 and you see the approval letter says that they're qualified up to 225, go back and find out if they if they can even
Excuse
perform
me.
right there. And on top of that, agents look at the proof of funds and look at the reserves and make sure that these people have money and then some more money behind it before you go back and advise your seller
Hey,
otherwise.
Frank,
It
You
just
know, I
seems
have a
like
You
if
don't just
everybody
need
had
money.
their act
You need
together,
more money.
This process would be so much easier.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Question: Would you? So, as a lender, when I send out packets to the agents when somebody's pre-approved, I do the pre-approval letter. I get the proof of funds, a copy of the first page of the credit report. Would you recommend also sending like an itemization of the estimates of the fees that I've drawn up?
You
that
can do
help
that.
somebody like
I
you,
just kind of
or-
calculate myself. I run everything high. I see if they have at least 1.5% to 2% on top.
Okay.
Which is
So you
Hey,
don't think
hey.
that would help at all? Or?
Okay,
It could help.
let's not dive
It could
into this,
help.
but Frank, do you think next week you could do a how to make a strong offer?
He did
segment.
how
that.
to make it. I think I
We've
did
done that.
no, you said
Yeah.
strong counteroffer.
A strong counter.
You
You
haven't
said
done a
strong
strong
counteroffer.
offer.
So like, well, what
But I
Alissa
think
was
we
just
touched on
alluding
it.
to is, yeah, we did, but let's bring it all together.
He's not trying to do 10 parts.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are things that you can do because everyone initially is asking for what is adherent in a contract. How many inspection days? 17 days. They don't change anything. When you come back, drop that down to 10, something like that. Drop your days. Maybe back off on some concessions if you can. Waive termite and stuff like that. And it all comes down to the banks aren't as dumb as everybody thinks they are, or as mean as everybody thinks they are. They're going to calculate when you offer $265 and you ask for $15,000 worth of closing costs. You're not
really
doing any
offering
Jedi
$280.
mind tricks on anybody.
Well,
You're offering $250. They're going to calculate and find
But
their
I'm
net is
talking about volunteering proof of funds. What does the approval letter look like? It used to be back in the day that a cover letter was even important. I've known people that
Back in the day when?
that have written a cover letter of why this is the perfect home for my family, and it
I have an agent
actually
that does that
and it
stuff.
actually did make a difference, even to asset
It
managers.
might make a difference to a conventional or a standard seller.
When you're
the
dealing
bank,
with the person.
The banks they don't
Somebody
see
with a
any of
heart?
that.
Are you saying
No,
that
somebody
bank
that's not.
negotiators have no heart?
No, I'm saying
None.
somebody that's not looking at the bottom
Tin
line
man.
and just
No.
working with numbers.
Yeah, they're not based on emotion. They're
Right.
based on numbers.
Dollars.
That they have to be. They
Because
don't
I
have
have
a choice.
no
you know.
heart.
But
So-
all things being equal, if you throw a picture of your puppy dog,
I
in
was
there,
going to say that. I used
Whose
to get
puppy dog?
when I used to do more traditional listings. I get pictures of family pictures on the beach and the new baby and
Oh,
know.
I've had one this is Fluffy, and he would love that tree in the backyard.
Yeah.
And they submit
Are
a
you
picture of
serious?
Fluffy.
There's a guy
the lender?
a guy sent a sign. A guy sent a sign on a corner that said, "I will work for a house." You know, I mean, just anything to make you laugh, to make you cry, whatever they could do. But the banks don't see any of that. The listing agents between the foreclosure asset managers and the buyer, they're all filtered by people like myself, and I'm not going to translate that over.
So if I create a viral YouTube video, would write a song about how much I want that house, the asset manager won't care.
Probably not. But you will entertain me.
The dancing squirrel.
Frank,
And I
break
put
it
in
down.
a good word for you.
Frank.
Okay, well, breaking it down right now, frustrated buyers out there that go for the throat and offer substantially over the list price, don't be surprised if you're asked to pay the difference between whatever the appraisal value comes in and whatever your purchase price is. Just because they accept that high price doesn't mean that appraisal is going to come through and you're going to beat everybody out and you're the winner and there's no repercussion for it. There could be. You might have to pay out of pocket.
So just like what Eric used to say to his ex-girlfriend, don't fake it.
Don't. How many minutes are we in? 20 minutes in Scott's comment.